that there is a spreader of lies here at this radio station. Our softball game was great. So first and foremost, thank you to everybody that came out on Saturday night. But the notion that Fat Mouth Pete Hoffman put out there throughout the midday show today about who scored more runs in the game is frankly obnoxious. They won game one fair and square. We won game two fair and square, and we dominated in game three fair and square. Not only did the Carton Roberts team win 2 games out of 3, we scored more runs than the Tiki Tierney team, and that's that. Good afternoon, Evan. How are you?
Sore.
Softball.
Yeah, don't lie to everybody. You can't move. I saw you trying to waddle through the studio.
Listen, I happen to be doing great.
He can't even extend his legs from that triple he had.
Again, I don't know what you're talking about. I know a lot of people are sore. Keith pulled a hamstring, and Tiki made a great diving catch, and he pulled a hammy later on, and Brandon pulled a hammy. I went home and ran 5 miles.
Stop. Listen, I'm not hurt, so that's a success.
Good.
But you know you can't feel your legs right now, right?
I'm good. I really am good.
Oh, BS.
No, why would not? Well, I'm going to lie about it.
Because first of all, I want to give you credit. One of my favorite moments of the game is when Craig Carton drove in his 2 sons. I thought that was awesome.
By the way, we do a thing in my household when the family's together at the end of a meal. We do what we call high-low. And everybody has to share their high moment of the day or the weekend or whatever it is out of the low moment, okay? And it's funny you mention that because yesterday's Father's Day, and I'm sitting there with my boys at the table, barbecuing like most Americans on Father's Day, and we did high-low. And they all go through it, blah, blah, blah. And it was my turn. I said, for me, and it's a little emotional right now, getting up to the plate with my oldest boy on second base and my second oldest son on first base, and my youngest son doing the PA announcing, and I actually coming through with my only legitimate hit of the day, but a legitimate hit down the third base line past a diving Big Mac to score both runs. Like, for me as a dad, you can't top that.
Dude, that was tremendous.
It was awesome.
And somehow, Craig Carton got to third base. Now, I'm not going to call it a triple, but nevertheless, you ended up on third base.
In the books, they're calling it a triple. As a matter of fact, yes, in the books. But that's in the books.
I tell you, Lucky, who was scored from first base, was like a gazelle running around the bases.
Yeah.
That was something to behold, let me tell you.
So anyway, we appreciate everybody coming out. I know there were a couple minor injuries, but all in all, everybody stayed pretty healthy. And more than anything else, we had a great time. It was a lot of fun. We raised a bunch of money for a worthy charity in the Joseph Lemm Foundation. And I'm sure we'll talk about it throughout the afternoon. But as you know, Evan, the focus right now is on New York baseball, and it ain't good. Yankees, it's embarrassing. You're telling me as great as Aaron Judge is, and nobody's going to dispute how great he is. So just put that to the side. This is a bad team. It's a bad team right now. You get swept by the Boston Red Sox and barely put up a fight. Obviously, the doubleheader yesterday, embarrassing. New York Mets, as you told us on Friday, rightfully so, you're playing the bottom dwellers of the National League. Worst case, you got to take 2 out of 3, but in reality, you got to take the series. And you do the exact opposite. You lose 2 out of 3.
Disaster.
We're in a bad, bad place right now in the moment for both franchises. And we are at that stage where we got to stop saying at some point soon, plenty of games left.
I get it. Here's the thing about the Yankees that's mind-boggling. They're obvious. Let's get the obvious out of the way. When you take away the most dynamic hitter in Major League Baseball, you're not going to be as good. We all know that. Last year, if Aaron Judge doesn't exist, the Yankees probably don't make the playoffs. It's part of why he was the MVP of the American League.
Absolutely.
With that said, let's start naming names. Anthony Rizzo. What the hell happened to Anthony Rizzo? Since Aaron Judge got hurt, and it started long before that, but for right now, let's talk about the moment Aaron Judge got hurt on that Saturday night in Los Angeles. Anthony Rizzo, since Aaron Judge got hurt, is 3 for 40.
Yeah.
3 for 40. Now, I know last night he got hosed. He hit the ball 410 feet, and Duran makes this incredible catch. It's baseball. It happens.
Yeah.
He is hitting, since Aaron Judge got hurt, .075.
Yeah.
Let's name another name. Giancarlo Stanton. You may have heard of him.
He's been brutal.
Since Aaron Judge got hurt and Stanton has come back, he is 4 for 38. That's a 105 batting average.
Yeah.
These guys need to be better. Forget Josh Donaldson. We all think he stinks anyway. DJ LeMahieu. Remember him? Remember the batting titles he won?
Yeah, what they call him, the robot or something?
The
stupid?
machine.
The machine.
Since Aaron Judge got hurt, and he doesn't even play every day, he's 4 for 29. That's a 138 average. So here's the reality with the Yankees. Are they this bad? Are those three guys this bad?
I mean, you like to think that they're not.
Should those three guys be hitting less than their weight right now? No.
No.
And that's their biggest problem.
Yep.
Their biggest problem is the fact that guys that are supposed to be good, not saying they're great,
right?
Guys who are supposed to be good are performing like they're not major leaguers.
Yeah.
That's the Yankees' issue right now with Aaron Judge out.
And then the problem with that, of course, becomes bigger. Becomes bigger. I couldn't think of the word.
Is that the word you're looking for? Bigger?
I wanted to say magnified.
There you go.
But it was going to come out magnetized.
Magnetized.
So, yeah, listen, and then all of a sudden now you're saying to your pitchers, if you give up a run, you lose.
Yes.
Because that's how bad the offense is. It's just, you know what it is, Evan? More than anything else, it's just frustrating. If you're a fan of the Yankees or Mets, it's like Father's Day weekend. And you're sitting there and you're going, ugh, swept by the Red Sox, ugh, losing 2 out of 3 to the Cardinals. Even the good news the Mets got that Pete Alonso came back.
Great.
Way ahead of schedule. Obviously, didn't go 3 for 4.
He went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts.
Yeah, but you get Pete Alonso back. That's supposed to spark everybody. He, of course, first came back, as Evan just said, strikes out 3 times. It's just lifeless, listless baseball. And I'm sorry, this is not like you're the San Francisco 49ers and you don't have a quarterback and someone says to you, go win an NFC championship game without a quarterback.
Right.
That you can understand. We don't have a quarterback. In baseball, you cannot tell me, and I include Ohtani in this, not pitching, obviously, when he's just a batter, that if I take one guy out of the lineup, the other 8 guys, by default, they're all going to crumble. That doesn't happen.
Right.
And it's unacceptable that it's happening.
They don't have to be great without Aaron Judge.
But
they
you
don't
got
have
250.
No, you got to be a 500 team. And that's what they've always been. When Aaron Judge has missed time, whether it's 2020 or 2021, he didn't miss a lot of time last year. But when he's missed games, the Yankees have been an average team. And honestly, that's all they have to do, in my opinion. Even if it's another 3-4 weeks. Stay at 500. Survive. Getting swept by what, in my opinion, is a lousy Red Sox team, that's not fine. Losing a series to the White Sox is not fine. And by the way, it makes Max Scherzer look even crappier because Max Scherzer faces this Yankee lineup and he's hanging sliders all night long. But those guys in this lineup, the survivors, and I'm not talking about fill-ins like Willie Calhoun or Jake Bowers or whoever they decide to catch on a given night. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about Giancarlo Stanton, DJ LeMahieu, and Anthony Rizzo. Who are they? Are they this bad? And the Anthony Rizzo thing is, to me, the most mind-numbing thing.
Right.
Because with the other two, I can come up with reasons. With Stanton, I can say, hey, guy came off the injured list. He's missed a lot of time. It takes him a while to get his swing down. Okay, put him into the corner. With DJ, look, this isn't new. DJ's been a shell of his former self since 2020. But Anthony Rizzo, Craig, got off to a great start this season. And there's a moment where everything seemed to change, and it's when Tatis ran into him on that pickoff play. Because since then, Anthony Rizzo isn't bad. Anthony Rizzo isn't mediocre. Anthony Rizzo's not a major leaguer. Right. And I can't believe I'm saying that because I have great respect for Anthony Rizzo. We watched him play for a long time. And right now, defensively, offensively, despite getting robbed on that 410-foot bomb, what happened to him? He can't be this. He can't be an 075 hitter.
No,
that can't be who he is.
It's brutal. It's hard to watch. It's just, it's lifeless, listless, disgusting baseball. And it's both teams. I mean, I thought maybe, the New York Yankees would take 2 out of 3 against the Red Sox, kind of right the ship a little bit, feel better about ourselves, kind of inching along towards the All-Star break. There's no guarantee that Aaron Judge is back before the All-Star break, like you keep saying. Just play 500 ball.
That's it.
Stay 8, 9, 10 games over 500, and then you have the entire second half to make the run, even if it's a wild card run. We know what that means, just to make the run. And my, oh my, Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's to a man up and down that lineup. Where you getting the production out of. And now it's the pressure, and we've seen this before with both teams over the course of the years. Like, I honestly feel if either team gives up a run, now say the Mets offensive line.
The Mets are dead. The Met issue is very different. It's not that, because yesterday the Mets are down.
If losing, it's over.
Well, the Mets are down 5-1. They came back.
I know.
The Mets are down 7-5. They come back. Here's the Met issue. The Met issue is everything. I'll make it very simple. It's everything.
Yeah.
Like, literally everything. On certain days, it's their offense. Just see Saturday. On certain days, it's their defense. On certain days, it's their bullpen. On certain days, it's garbage starting pitching. And on certain days, it's a manager whose flower has died. Is that what the phrase is? The rose has come off the bud. What is that phrase?
That's what they call it.
What happens when you have a pretty flower and you love it and you smell it?
The rose.
What's it called?
Yeah, something like that.
A rose by any other name would smell just as sweet.
Look at you quoting Shakespeare.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Something else is going on.
Buck Showalter has now turned into what Yankee fans do with Aaron Boone. Everything he does is idiotic. And a lot of times they're right. A lot of times they're right. So the Met issue is much deeper. The Met issue is everything. Everything.
Yeah.
The Yankee issue to me is a little bit easier to pinpoint. They've got guys in their lineup that are just flat out underperforming. That's it to me. If those guys start to perform like they're capable of, the Yankees will survive this stretch without Aaron Judge. But if Anthony Rizzo is going to go 3 for 40 and hit 0.75, I don't know what to tell you.
Games. I agree. 877-337-6666. If you're a Met fan, Yankee fan, bring it. Whoever you're most angry with, we'll take those calls all afternoon long. Obviously, if you were at the softball game on Saturday, take some calls on that. We've got some hoops. We got some football coming up. We got lots cooking, but, of course, a lot of the focus today after, what's funny, by the way? Can you guys get the audio, if you don't mind, when the Presti did the update at 2 o'clock last Thursday? Can you find me that audio?
The update at 2 o'clock.
Yeah, do you remember what happened?
No.
You don't remember what happened?
Not at all.
So last Thursday, when Crystal Presti was filling in for Rich Ackerman, he did the update as we start our show at 2 o'clock, right?
Right.
And he gave an update on the U.S. Open. And there was some guy named Wyndham something or other who was leading the U.S. Open on Thursday. One of us said, well, I can tell you this much. That guy ain't going to win the U.S. Open.
I wonder who said that.
And CeeLo goes, you're right about that.
So who we getting on? The guy who said it or CeeLo for agreeing?
Well, before I play it for you, the question at hand is going to be, who said it?
Oh, definitely you.
Who said to Crystal Presti that Wyndham Plaza guy ain't going to win?
You.
Okay.
There's no way it was me. I don't care. There's no
you
way
think I suddenly care about the U.S. Open?
You care more to interrupt CeeLo's update to say a guy's not going to win.
The only time I care about the U.S. Open is if it gets me out of doing chores at home. Look, I'd love to go do that, but the U.S. Open's on, and it's Father's Day weekend.
Have you ever used that as an excuse?
100%.
You've said to your wife, honey, the U.S. Open's on, I'm sorry.
No, it's my kids. Daddy, come do this. Daddy, come do that. Yeah, no, Daddy. I'd love to. I really want to help you carry that from, from the garage to the basement, but, the U.S. Open's on.
So who said it now?
I don't even know it was in the U.S. Open.
It had to have been you. It had to have been you. And then CeeLo just agreeing.
That's kind of how it could have gone.
Has to be.
Certainly possible. Certainly possible. Here's Kevin in Staten Island. Kevin, good afternoon. How are you?
Good. Yourself?
Doing great. Thank you.
You want to tell everyone how you tanked the first when the ball went with you, through you, and you jumped away from it?
Kevin, thank you for bringing that up. A hard-hit ground ball right at my shortstop, Craig Carton. I was on the mound.
Yeah.
And you know what? If it gets past him, it happens. He pulled a Roger Dorn, essentially. He went, ole, and that ball went right past him. He made a business decision. So I appreciate you bringing that up, Kevin. That was embarrassing.
First off, if I may, Kevin.
Embarrassing.
Just out of curiosity, we'll discuss that first one in a second. Do you remember how that inning ended by chance or no?
No.
Of course not. Of course not.
The person heckling Evans the way he was dressed.
Yeah, it's all good. I appreciate the heckling, but here's what's funny about it. That inning ended on a Carton to Carton to Carter double play.
Yeah, but that was impossible to screw up. It was the easiest double play ever.
Did I make it?
Yeah,
Did I make the play? No.
Thank you.
Now, if I may, you're welcome.
All right, but do you want to talk about Do you want to talk about when you went in to pitch and then you gave up all those runs?
Thank you. That's another one, Kevin.
Dude, it's slow pitch
I
softball.
keep my team in the game with my gutsy pitching. It's 2-0.
gutsy pitching.
Craig comes in. I get it. Craig wants to pitch. And before I could look up, it's 9-0. Thanks for that.
First off, it was not as egregious as that.
They didn't really appreciate you too much there, Evan. They were heckling. They were asking about
now, Kevin, let me ask you a question. How about the bottom of the third inning or top of the third inning with a man on second base? Did you recognize the shortstop making a diving stop on a ground ball to save a run, or did you not see that?
No, I think I was getting a beer.
Yeah. See? That's right. I saved your run.
Yeah, sure.
Turned to double play. Now, here's my reality. The play that he's talking about, I absolutely olayed that ball. And I will tell you why. I was very mad at myself.
Because you weren't wearing a cup?
No, I never wear a cup to play softball. I'm going to say something. I'm going to tell you a little inside skinny, okay?
Go ahead.
And it pains me to have to say it. I need glasses.
You didn't see the ball?
That's not an excuse. I didn't make the play. But even on the play, I did make the double play ball, which you're right.
Yeah.
Was hit right to me. Easy, slow ground ball to shortstop. Couldn't see it. So it was a weird thing. I don't know if it's because the sun went down or what it was. But from where I'm standing at shortstop, everything was blurry. I couldn't make out the batter. It was blurry. I saw multiple balls, blurry. And just to show you this.
Yeah.
I love playing shortstop in softball. As you will attest to, I took myself out.
You did, and I appreciate it.
I stopped playing shortstop.
You did.
For the betterment of the team.
But then 3 innings later, you put yourself in the pitch.
Yeah, that's right.
And we gave up 7 runs.
They've given up a couple runs because of shoddy defense behind me.
No.
For sure.
When you came in, it wasn't shoddy defense. It was batting practice.
I mean, because I'm playing in a charity softball game, I'm laying it in to hit it. Because that's what that game is all about. I ain't just trying to strike nobody out.
Well, I'm not trying to strike people out, but I was trying to get people out, and it worked. And then I got Tom Izzo out on a pop-up throwing my floater. Did you even try a floater?
No, but the second inning I pitched, I got people chirping at me going, why don't you spin it or something? So then I start spinning the ball this way and that way. And I will say this. I'm not sure if I'll ever speak to Danielle McCartan ever again. And I'm serious about this one. It's a charity softball game.
Right.
My man was taking aggressive leads on the release of the pitch, and then, no joke, stole second base.
Yes.
In a charity softball game. And despite the fact that there are rules in that game to protect everybody from themselves, and you were in the room when I said it, no sliding allowed. If it's close, you're out. We don't want anybody to get hurt. We're not playing to save the world.
Craig.
And your girl, Danielle McCartan, shame on you, Danielle McCartan. She stole second base and slid into second to steal it.
The only thing I wouldn't do if I were you is cite the things that you said in the locker room prior to the game, because that's caused a lot of controversy.
I said no sliding.
Forget
We're here
that.
to have fun.
You also said to them, even though I knew differently, you said to them that everybody playing, it's 1 9-inning game.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't have said that.
Never said
because
that.
you got people complaining, like Dove's complaining to me he wasn't even there.
Well, how could Dove complain he wasn't there?
Because he's heard from Big Mac and he's heard from Hoff.
Mind your business. How about that? If you show up and then you can complaining about how we play our games. We played 3 games. We played a 6.5-inning game.
Yeah.
We played a 2-inning game.
A 2-inning game, yeah. I wonder if it would have been 2 innings if the other team was winning.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not. And we played a 4-inning game. So add it up. 6.5,
8,
8.5, 12.5 innings. And we happen to win. Sorry.
And by the way, we gave you every fair shot, because even though the 2-inning called game seems a little fugazi, here's what Craig did that I will defend. I will defend it to the T. Once we call the second game and we say it's 1-1, he says, final game, 4 it all, 4 innings.
That's it.
So you went into that final game. Yep. Everyone went into that final game knowing exactly what was in front of you.
Not just that, we were also very, very gracious in allowing you guys to be the home team in the second game
and
the third game.
That's true.
I don't think we were the home team in the second game.
You were.
Yes, you were.
Because we redid it. We just said, clear the scoreboard.
Yeah.
You guys deserve to be the home team in game 2.
Yep.
And we kept it that way for game 3.
It's fine. Definitely the third game. But just because we knew how you were jobbing us doesn't mean that you weren't jobbing us. Like, I mean, come on. Oh, you knew it was 4 innings. Yeah, after we
Big Mac.
After we knew
Big
it
Mac.
was one game.
Big Mac, we did you a favor because your team were dropping like flies.
Yeah.
Beat
That's
team
why we just
loses
needed
a
to end it after
hamstring.
game 1.
Keith McPherson loses an Achilles.
Yeah.
Like, your team was going to die if it
I
wasn't
know.
for us.
You guys are
You're
breaking
welcome.
down. Sorry about that. Yeah, but
That's what happened.
Now you got somebody who thinks they're trying out for the Hall of Fame, taking big, aggressive leads in a charity softball game and stealing second base and sliding into second. Hey, Mom, Dad, guess what? I stole a base. Yeah, in a charity softball game. You're disinvited from all future games. And even though I'm leaving the radio station, we're still going to have charity softball games that I'm involved with. You're out.
She played very well, though.
Yeah, she played very well. Okay. She was wearing a mask at third base. What are we talking
She
about?
was telling me that's a rule
That
in
is
some
not a
counties.
rule anywhere.
Like, you
I
have
don't
to
care
wear
who
a
you
mask at third and first base. Yeah.
What are we doing? Sliding into second, stealing like you're Ricky Henderson. Like, we're not trying to throw you out. You're not allowed to steal. Taking big leads on the release.
I'm surprised that was even allowed when she ended up on second
Well,
base.
because then it was like, well, what are we supposed to do? Call her out? And I'm like, yeah,
No,
that's
just
right.
put her back
Call
on
her
first
out.
base.
Then you have Tom Izzo sliding into third, kicking the ball from Ryan Leaf's hand, trying to hurt him. It's just, your team was disgusting.
Very dirty team, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Very dirty team.
Dirty slides, yep.
Dirty slides.
Trying to get in, trying to be safe.
And then my son falls into second base, and you guys are complaining. He slid into second. He slid into second. He fell into second.
I will admit, though, the highlight of the game, and you have to admit it, too.
What?
You have to admit it, was we all witnessed one of the great catches in the history of softball played anywhere.
Yeah.
Tiki Barber, like Superman, flew through the air. Full extension. Made an insane diving catch that, thank God, we have video of and were able to put out over the last 24
Yeah,
hours.
thank God somebody in this room demanded that we have a camera set up at the game, which you can attest to.
Yeah, you demanded it.
Yeah, because we
Thank
were not
God.
going to film the game, and now we've got this great video of Tiki Barber, who, yes, made not even close the play of the day, robbing Chris Mano of a short double, fully extended, horizontal to the ground, bounced off the turf, and did not get hurt. And it was, we were all kind of like, did I just see that?
We were in awe.
Like, and my first reaction was, what is he, stupid? And then I was like, that's a hell of a catch. And that separates Tiki and other pro athletes from everybody else.
That's worth the injury because that video lives forever.
Yeah.
That video exists for the ethos.
And I love how we have it in slow motion.
And you even have the slow motion reaction at the cameraman going, ooh, wow.
All right, listen, we got lots cooking, of course. I assume line 5 is, I'll take the call, I don't care. Danielle McCarton, you're banned from all future softball games.
What are you talking about?
You can't steal second base in a charity game.
It was an overthrow.
No. You stole second base in a charity game. Congratulations. You've got the only stolen base. Maybe you can make yourself a plaque or something.
Maybe you guys can do it for me. Well, Craig, honestly, I really want to say thank you.
Yeah.
But you end up breathing anyway.
You know.
What? Well, I guess when you get blown out 10-0 in the first game,
Again, it was 10-3. It wasn't 10-0. You guys have invented a shutout that never happened.
Yeah, I don't remember those 3
Yeah,
runs.
of course you don't remember.
I think that was the first inning of the next game.
We
Craig.
got 3 meaningless runs in the bottom of the 6th.
I
That
don't
was
remember.
that. And then I canceled it after the top of the 7th took place. Neither here nor there. It's great that you participated. But in future reference, just know your surroundings. Stealing second base.
Yes, I only know one season. Sorry about that.
It's a charity game. Taking a big lead, stealing second base, wearing a face mask at third base. It's a casual game. What are you doing? Huh?
I was a little scared of taking one off the teeth at third base, honestly.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that. But
Especially when you got Craig Carton lining up there, ready to rip a line drive to third.
I was going to aim for the schnoz. I was going, anyhow, thanks for participating. You should save the uniform. It's the last one you're getting.
Jeez, you're rough.
Hey, how much do we end up raising?
I have no idea. I'll find out later on. But all good, and I'm glad you got to make it. And there you go. All right, there's Danielle McCartan. People call her Coach. I'm still not sure quite why, but she's always up to help out a station event. She's just like a lot of people, doesn't know. It's called. You got to live life a little bit to know there are times when you go all out, and then there are times you kind of recognize today's not that day. We're here to have fun. Of course, you want to win. I don't take that away from anyone. It's nice to win, but we don't steal second. We don't slide spikes up into the shortstop's ankles. You're just trying to be cool.
I have to admit, now I never got a chance to slide because, predictably, I didn't do much with the stick, which I told you.
You made contact.
I never swung and missed. I told you that.
Pete Hoffman did 6 times.
I can't believe how many people swung and missed. Jonathan Casillas, who's won a Super Bowl, swung and missed at the first pitch I threw at him.
I like that dude. He's a good dude.
A great dude, but I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe people were swinging and missing. Even Big Mac swung and missed. He doesn't want to admit it.
That's not true.
I mean, you basically did.
No, I didn't.
Fouling the ball straight down in softball,
I fouled ball.
I think is essentially a swing and miss, Craig.
There wasn't a person on the field that had more hits than I did. So.
Oh, here we go.
Are you counting?
So
yes,
funny
I was counting. I went 5 for 6.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Run the tape back.
Okay.
I made one out.
Okay.
I made one out
Congratulations.
the whole day.
Congratulations.
That's right. Okay.
He was chirping the whole day, too. Said, I can't hit. I can hit.
Yeah. I during one of the at-bats, I asked you where you wanted me to put it.
Yeah, he did. He's like,
and then Evan, during the bottom of the last inning, he says, I came up with 2 outs. I drove in the only 2 runs of the game for our team. And he's like, you're going to make the last out with everyone watching? And I said, not today.
And he was very dramatic about it. Not today, pal.
Not today. And I ripped a double.
Today is not that day.
And it was a good hit if I made it all the way to second base.
So. Oh, that was the ball down the left field line?
Yeah.
Yeah, that should have been a home run.
Probably. At least a triple.
Easily.
Between the fact that we're in a
was,
real ballpark with a fence far away and the fact that those softballs were dead.
Yeah, those softballs
purpose.
don't go anywhere.
No, it was on purpose.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Well, you don't want to line drive to the pitcher.
No,
I
we
get
did.
it.
They're called clinchers and they're restricted.
Yeah.
For safety reasons?
100%.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
That was done because you don't know who's playing. You don't know who's paying attention all the time.
Yeah.
And we have some guys, Big Mac, Izzo, Cody Decker, obviously.
Right.
The idea was let's just nobody's a hero today.
No, I get you because when I realized it is Cody Decker comes up and he takes this massive swing that off the bat I'm like, there it goes. He's going deep. And I watch it in the air just die like a quail.
Well, Evan, when you first got there, you would have noticed because Cody and I were talking about it. He's like, the idea is that we were going to do a home run derby to settle, the score at some point or like to give team bonus runs. And Cody showed up. He's like, no one's hitting it out.
Not
Me
even
included. Close. There's a 30-mile-per-hour wind coming off the water.
The wind.
So then we just scrapped it as an idea. Again, you and I weren't hitting one out.
No.
But there were like 3 or 4 guys in theory had the power to maybe get one close. And we were like, there's just no way. The wind's coming in too strong.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you something else. Great job by Gary Perone and his staff out there. And what a gorgeous ballpark. Like, you sometimes take for granted, Staten Island, not the greatest place to be. I'm telling you, when you get to that part of Staten Island, and all of a sudden there's this crazy oasis of a perfect and beautiful baseball field, I highly recommend it. It was
the view is breathtaking. I mean, you see the water and the city, and you see the bridge. Like, it's just a beautiful view. So I spent more hours yesterday in Staten Island than I have in my life combined.
Yeah.
And I don't regret it. It was a fun time.
Kenny in Manhattan. Kenny's on the fan. What's up, buddy?
Hey, how you doing, Craig? I
Good.
was at the game on Saturday, actually.
Yeah.
I don't think Danielle McCartan stole. I think she advanced.
You can't advance in softball, dude. It's a stolen base. It's embarrassing.
No, she advanced because they threw behind her. It was an errant throw. I don't remember who was throwing it.
Listen, again, let me be clear. We're not playing for like the United States amateur title. We're playing for charity. The second game was 2 innings long. Like, what are you doing? Did you go home and tell mommy and daddy, hey, I was 3 for 5 and I had a stolen base? Come on.
Well, she should have been able to advance, I think.
No advancing. You're not allowed to advance. It's not hardball. It's softball. Stop making excuses for it. Thank you. You have a pleasant day, sir.
You beat him into a
Appreciate you
little.
being
You
there.
pummeled him to death.
Yeah, there's no excuse for it. All right, Vance, the catcher dropped the ball. Yeah, so what? Look who was catching. Sid Rosenberg.
Yeah, he did a great job. He called a hell of a game, Sid.
Yeah. I mean, you stealing on Sid Rosenberg? He's got a 97-year-old Jewish arm from Sarasota.